Hi everyone, my name is Winnie and I will be presenting the case on the Jack-in-the-Box E. coli outbreak. So step 1, E. coli is a rod-shaped bacteria that is found in intestines of humans or animals. Most of the time they are harmless, but some strains can cause severe food poisoning. The particular strain in the outbreak is E. coli O157H7. It was first isolated and identified in 1982 in red meat such as hamburger meat. It may also cause hemolytic uremic syndrome or HUS, which unfortunately can lead to death. Step 2, current situation. The outbreak began in Seattle, Washington, and the Department of Public Health there was able to identify a particular Jack-in-the-Box that sold this contaminated and undercooked hamburger patty that caused the E. coli outbreak. The strength of the case is that the E. coli can be killed if patties were cooked completely up to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. The weakness is that the source of the hamburger meat contained meat from 443 different cattle, all from 5 different slaughterhouses. The opportunity is to educate consumers, meat plants, or factories and restaurants the risk of eating as well as preparing undercooked red meat, and also implementing new regulations. The threat is that safety measures in place could be overlooked and thus may cause an outbreak to occur again. The main organization involved in this case is the Seattle-King County Department of Public Health, who has a mission of protecting and improving the health and well-being of King County. Step 3, prioritize core issues. The cause of the outbreak was due to the fact that these contaminated hamburger meat were not cooked properly. More than 700 people fell ill and 4 children died during this outbreak. This outbreak occurred in 1993 Jack-in-the-Box, and this was also the first time people viewed fast food burgers to be potentially lethal and a risk to their health. It is important as a result to prioritize educating consumers and restaurants on the proper cooking temperature to cook hamburger meat. Step 4, analyze alternatives. The Jack-in-the-Box recalled the meat and threw them away. They also set new rules to cook patties at the proper temperature, so at least 160 degrees Fahrenheit. And they also hired food safety expert Dave Tino to implement some new safety regulations. The theoretical model that can be used for this case is the social ecological model. The individual and interpersonal part of the model explains how individuals need to understand the risk of undercooked meat in order to prevent themselves from eating contaminated meat. The organization or the restaurants have the responsibility to cook the meat properly in order to prevent the E. coli from spreading in consumers. And for policy, there needs to be regulations and safety measures in place in order to prevent contamination of the cattle and raw meat in the first place. Alternative 1 is to educate and raise awareness on the risk of undercooked meat. Alternative 2 is to improve sanitation during the slaughter process in order to prevent contamination of the meat in the first place. Step 5, recommendations. So recommendation 1 is to vaccinate cattle in order to prevent the spread of E. coli in raw meat as well as in the general area of these living cattle. Recommendation 2 is to improve the E. coli detection system using a new, cheaper, and faster method called ELISA. Recommendation 3 is to continue to educate the public on E. coli in raw meat and ensure farms and slaughterhouses follow proper sanitation protocols. Step 6, action plan. By 2025, there should be a development of community outreach to increase the awareness on the risk of E. coli to adults or elders. By 2027, education systems should make foodborne illness awareness as part of their curriculum in schools in order to educate the younger populations. By 2030, FDA and USDA should strengthen and increase the regulation of sanitation of cattle in slaughterhouses and farms. And by 2033, CDC should implement quick and cost-effective surveillance systems to detect and monitor E. coli. Step 7. Opinion. I did not know E. coli could cause severe consequences such as death. I knew that E. coli could cause food poisoning or even stomach aches, but I thought victims would always get better. I also did not know that E. coli could spread in a variety of different foods, not just in the meat. So for example, in a livestock, if E. coli was prevalent there in the farms, E. coli could actually go into dairy products, the soil, or even the vegetables. And as a result, sanitation is a very important factor in preventing E. coli from spreading. And that's it. Thank you.